Hey man, what's going on, man? This your boy A.K.A SMG back with another video, man, and today you can tell by the thumbnail, you can tell by the title exactly what's going on, man. We discussing DC Games is about to make a comeback or a return or just an overall accomplishment, bro. A couple days ago, or actually it might have been a month ago, we got word that DC Games is finally start to expand to other developers outside of just WB. So today we're gonna be talking all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a little minute since we did a discussion, but I might start to bring these back. You know, they're fun to make, they're fun to do. It seems like y'all enjoy them when I look at past discussion videos. So today I'm going to be talking about my ideas or my opinion on this new, development when it comes to DC Games and some of the games I would love to see, be developed. So this is going to be a short little discussion. I didn't write a script for this one. I'm just going to lay my ideas out. Feel free to leave your opinions and ideas down in the comments and we can just talk about DC Games. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. So like I said in the beginning, I actually think this was announced maybe a month ago, but recently I saw a tweet that I actually reposted on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, by James Sigfield, and it reads, WB Games licenses their IPs out for gaming opens up great possibilities for DC Games. We no longer have to wait for Rocksteady or WB Montreal to give us a Superman, Flash, or Green Lantern game. Any developer can give us one. Devs, pitch WB Games your DC Games ideas, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here today. Just going to be sharing some ideas. I actually put some of my ideas in this tweet, and I'm going to be going over them kind of thoroughly, kind of quickly, just to give examples of how I would kind of run DC Games if I had the chance to. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start with the games that we already have or already announced. We know the latest Batman Arkham game just released. It's VR only. I honestly don't know if I'll be able to play that on the channel with all the games we've been playing now, but anyway, that game just came out. It's another Batman game. I personally love Batman, but now that we have this news that WB is starting to branch out, I'm so happy, because while I love Batman, it's definitely way past time for other DC heroes, villains, teams to get their own games, man. But we got a Batman Arkham game. I feel like that's gonna be the last Arkham Batman game we see for a little minute, unless we still get another one. But outside of that, we have Wonder Woman. Now it's been like 3 years since we heard anything, but I have a strong feeling that we're gonna be getting some type of announcement at this year's Game Awards. It was first shown off at the Game Awards 2020 or 2019, so I think it's about due time, you know what I'm saying, that we get an update on that game. You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking forward to that one. I feel like it's going to be a spectacular game. You know what I'm saying? We got the Nemesis system, same people that made Shadow of Mordor. Those games were fire. So can't wait to see Wonder Woman. I'm going to be having a Wonder Woman wish list, kind of already prepared if they do show something for the Game Awards, so stay tuned for that. Now outside of that, I don't think there's any other DC games officially announced. There's been some rumors, but we're not going to get into that right now. I'm just going to go ahead and get into the wish list or my ideas for games I would love to see developed at DC. So first things first, Superman. We gotta have a Superman game from 2025 up until like 2027. Within that frame, there has to be some type of Superman game announcement. If there's not, I doubt we're ever getting one, which is unfortunate, but we have to get a Superman game. It's been far too long. Now that we have all these other opportunities for different developers to make one, Superman needs to happen. Now when it comes to the developers and who I would want to develop these games, honestly, I'm just now thinking about that. I didn't really put too much thought into it. When it comes to Superman, I don't know, man. I could see it being done by, and you're probably gonna think I'm crazy but for saying this, but EA. And the only reason I say EA, not as the main choice, but I know what happened with Anthem, but I know EA is also currently making an Iron Man game, and I'm trying to think about like the flight, you know what I'm saying? Superman has to fly. If we get a Superman game, it needs to be open world. He needs to fly. I feel like EA might can do that if they're tackling the Unreal Engine 5 Iron Man game right now. I feel like they're probably gonna put a lot into that. Anthem did have good flying, you know what I'm saying, flight mechanics, but there's also what was the Matrix little game? What did they make that in? I think it was Unreal Engine 5, but I don't know if it was published or developed by a certain team. But I don't know, y'all let me know some teams or development teams that would make a good Superman game. And if these games ever actually get announced, I would definitely be making a thorough wish list or things I would like to see in these games. If y'all want to see those videos anyway, even if these games don't get announced, let me know. But next up on my list is Teen Titans. I would love a Teen Titans game. Now, a Teen Titans game can go many different ways. They could base it off, you know, obviously the comics with different team members, base it off the cartoon, and we can use that team group. That's honestly what I would love to go for. Or it could be something kind of new. Maybe it can be a Teen Titans game set in the DCU. And that's another thing I want to point out. James Gunn mentioned that his DCU is going to be connected with movies, TV, animation, and video games. So we could get a Teen Titans game set in that universe. I actually think he already announced that they're working on a movie, so you never know what we can get when it comes to that team up. All I know is that I would love a Teen Titans game. Believe it or not, I would love it to be very similar to Gotham Knights. I love Gotham Knights. I thought that was cool. Honestly, I think that would be a good dev team to make a Teen Titans game. WB Montreal. Flesh out their, you know, character system with, you know, switching characters and different skill sets and mechanics for each character, and just having a fire kit for, you know, Robin, Starfire, all of them. I feel like that would be heat. Now next up, I got Aquaman. Aquaman is somebody I always forget about, as, you know, a person that's really just now diving deep into DC, learning about the lore and the characters. I always forget about Aquaman for some reason, but the thought of Aquaman having a video game is freaking amazing. I mean, it takes me back to Horizon Forbidden West. Speaking of Horizon Forbidden West, Guerrilla is definitely a team I would like to see, you know, tackle an Aquaman game, and that's because of the underwater sections in Forbidden West. Imagine an Aquaman game where, like, you know, 80% or 95% of the game takes place underwater. I mean, that would be heat. Atlantis, or wherever he from, all the different damn kingdoms and palaces and different aquatic animals. You can ride on a dolphin or something, you know. That's just the exploration part, but, you know, obviously we got to have a story, then the combat, you know, fighting with the trident and echolog. I feel like Aquaman would be a unique and different approach when it comes to superhero games, and I feel like it's something that I would love to see happen. Once again, I feel like Guerrilla could, you know, tackle that when it comes to the gameplay part. When it comes to story, honestly, I could see them kind of going crazy on that as well, but y'all let me know what y'all think about an Aquaman game. Next up on my list, I have The Flash. Now, for a while, I've mentioned this in other videos, but I never thought a Flash game would work. I'm gonna be honest. The Flash is a cool character, but when it comes to games, he seems like he works more as a non-playable, you know what I'm saying, side character, an NPC. And I only say that because he's the fastest man alive. You know, when it comes to gameplay, yeah, it could be cool, but if we were to get a Flash game, I don't think it should be open world. And while that sounds crazy, since, you know, running around fast as I don't know what seems fun, how would that be animated? And I know it's possible, but you're just gonna be a blur unless they're gonna, you know, make it like the, you know, Zack Snyder's DC, where it's slow motion, you know what I'm saying, but maybe the world around you is moving fast. Maybe that could work, but I just can't really picture gameplay working, you know what I'm saying, like open world gameplay working that well for the Flash. Or maybe like some type of story driven, not telltale, but I don't know. I feel like a Flash game would definitely work. When it comes to the genre and the gameplay mechanics, I'm not sure, but that's what y'all can let me know down in the comments. Help me out when it comes to ideas about, you know, maybe a certain villain we can fight that can kind of, you know, create a story or gameplay mechanics around the Flash as a DC game. Now the next game I have on my list is something that I recently thought of, and I feel like this would be amazing and it could be a big game, but that's Green Lanterns and or just lanterns in general. I recently found out that there's so many different lanterns other than just Green Lantern, so as a game, that would be amazing. Obviously we got Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Jessica Cruz, and all the other Green Lanterns, but then we got the blues and the sapphires and the reds, you know what I'm saying, and Atrocity or whatever his name is, and then the yellow one, Sinestro. I feel like that would be kind of amazing, you know what I'm saying, on Earth, in space, open world, flying around. Honestly, when it comes to all the games I listed so far, Superman and Green Lantern, they might be like top two, then Teen Titans. I feel like a Green Lantern game would be very, very heat. Multiple Green Lanterns, you know, playable in that game, and it can follow a story, you know, doing something. Once again, it could be a part of James Gunn's DCU. Whenever we're getting a Lantern show, they just casted the main characters for that show. Maybe it can be them in a sub setting or something, some type of subplot, you know, dealing with, you know, the Lantern. Now next up on my list is probably, you know, would be the biggest DC game if it happens, and that's the Justice League. And I say it will be the biggest DC game because while it will have a lot of, you know, pressure into it when you think about a big team game, especially coming off of Marvel Avengers. I love Marvel Avengers, y'all know this, but we saw how that went. If we make a Justice League game, I personally feel like live service would be the best bet. I feel like live service games, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just how they are done. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you want to do a live service, you got to make sure you're going to have that, you know, gameplay and in-game gameplay already kind of down packed and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But imagine a Justice League game similar to Marvel Avengers, but way better. Every couple of months, 2 months at max or something, we get a brand new character, Justice League member, and you know, we just expand this story fighting different DC bosses. Because when I think of Justice League, you know, originally when I first started getting into DC, it was just Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Cyborg. But there's so many different Justice League characters that I'm just now learning about, and I feel like they would be amazing in a video game. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see a full fleshed out Justice League game that could last for a minute. Now when it comes to the development team, I honestly don't know. I would say Rocksteady. After Suicide Squad, you know, it seems like they're starting to set up the Justice League returning. We know they're not really dead after that, and it would be cool if, you know, they could come back and they have to prove their innocence to the world. Since the whole world thinks they're villains now, they've been killing people, maybe they can, you know, they would, you know, this wasn't us, we were clones, and now they have to prove that, you know, they're good. And maybe a way to do that, we can set up a villain like Doomsday or Darkseid, and he can be somebody, you know, that's a big threat on Earth, and the Justice League have to come back together, save the world, and prove their, you know, heroism or whatever the word is, their innocence, but prove that they are still the heroes. I feel like that could make for a good story, and since it's already in the Rocksteady universe, might as well just have Rocksteady develop that game. But y'all let me know of some other developers you would like to see make a Justice League game. Now earlier in this video I said that I didn't want to see too many more Batman games, but that doesn't mean other Bat family members can't get a game. Bruce Wayne had his time, you know what I'm saying? Rocksteady really did their thing when it came to that Arkham trilogy. He had some older Batman games that were fire. Telltale Batman games were fire. Bruce can sit this one out. Now while there's people like, you know, the Robins, you know, each one of the Robins could honestly get their own game, I feel like Batgirl deserves a game. And when I say Batgirl, I mean Cassandra Cain. I feel like her story is so much more, you know, kind of complex than Barbara Gordon's. And while I love Barbara, I feel like Cassandra would work so much more. You know, she was a ninja, assassin, Ra's al Ghul and all them League of Assassins. I feel like that would be heat. Maybe have her kind of grow as a little girl, going up until when she becomes Batgirl, and you know, dealing with that, you know, character development would just be heat. So a Cassandra Cain Batman girl definitely seems freaking amazing in my eyes, bro. And maybe it could be set in the Rocksteady universe. Maybe it can be, you know, what's going on in Gotham while, you know, the Justice League is taking care of, you know, what they're taking care of in Metropolis. If, you know, Rocksteady were to make a Justice League game back in Gotham, Cassandra Cain can be, you know, around. Maybe that's when we can see the rest of the Bat family, because I was hoping we could see them in Suicide Squad, but obviously we haven't, or you know, the game isn't officially over yet, so maybe there's still time, but I doubt it. But a Batgirl game, I need that. Now the last game I have on my list is actually a 2-in-1 special. It could be 2 games, or it could be 1 game with these 2 teams kind of blended, and that's Birds of Prey or the Gotham City Sirens. Now I know Birds of Prey is more of a kind of, you know, anti-hero hero group. Gotham City Sirens is, you know, Harley, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy villains. But I believe all of those characters were on Birds of Prey in the comics once upon a time or something like that. So I feel like a game centered around these 2 teams, or 2 games with these teams, you know, as the main team would be amazing. I was trying to think of more, you know, like villain games or team games, and these are the groups I came up with. Definitely Gotham City Sirens. I would love to see that, just the dynamic of those 3 characters. I feel like it would be pretty hilarious. This is honestly another game I could see Rocksteady, you know, creating. And I know this video, or you know, this news that came out is about DC being able to go to other devs. It's just that so far all we really know of is Rocksteady and WB, you know, Montreal. So once again, let me know down in the comments some, you know, developers you would like to see make DC games. But I'm gonna end this video up right here, man. Like I said in the beginning, I want this to be kind of short, just a little discussion. I'm probably gonna bring these videos back just to talk about certain gaming topics, certain gaming news, and we can all kind of just chat about it down in the comments. But overall, I just hope DC games really get to flourish now with this new development. Hope we start getting a lot of announcements similar to how Marvel is doing, because they have plenty games in development, some that's probably not even announced yet, that's gonna be, you know, feeding us for years to come. It's time for DC to get that chance as well. So I'm gonna be ending this up right here, man. Y'all can let me know which game in my list was your favorite, which one would you want to see get made first. If you like these type of videos, maybe I can go ahead and make, you know, individual videos for each of these games on my list and just talk about what I would like to see in each of them, regardless if they're announced or not. But until the next video, I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell so you know when I'm posting, man. Share the content, share the channel, do all of that. I'll see y'all in the the next one. It's your boy A.K.A SMG. Peace.